Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're tackling one of the biggest, most, frankly, mind-bending questions out there. We're going to use memory and AI as our roadmap to try and figure out, well, the very nature of reality itself. So let's just dive right in, shall we? No warm-up? This is the ultimate what-if question. It's a thought experiment that, if you really think about it, forces you to question everything you think is real. Your life, your past, the whole shebang. Now, before we can even begin to unpack a question that huge, we've got to start with something fundamental, the one thing that makes you, you. And that's memory. I mean, really think about it. How do you know you're the same person who went to bed last night? It's because you remember it, right? For centuries, philosophers have been saying pretty much the same thing. Our identity, our very sense of I am me, is totally built on this unbroken string of memories. It's the thread that ties your past self to your present self. And you know, the stakes here are just massive. For an individual, if you lose your memory, your whole sense of self just dissolves. Poof, gone. But it's not just about us as individuals. Think about it on a grand scale. All of human progress, I'm talking art, science, culture, it's all just one giant collective memory. Take that away, and civilization basically resets to zero. It all collapses. Okay, but here's where it gets tricky. Neuroscience is showing us that our memories, well, they aren't perfect recordings, not even close. They're faulty, they get rewritten, they can even be manipulated. So if our entire identity is built on this kind of shaky foundation, it makes you wonder, right? Just how stable is our self anyway? So that leads us to the next big piece of this puzzle. And to figure it out, we're going to look at our own creation, artificial intelligence. And this brings up a huge question. If memory is the key and an AI can store and recall a lifetime of memories with perfect accuracy, then what's left? What makes us different? This is where we really have to dig in and ask what memory actually is for a person versus a machine. Right, so here's the absolute key difference. For you and me, memory is a full-body emotional experience. You don't just recall a childhood trip to the beach, do you? No, you can almost feel the sun on your skin. You can smell the salt in the air. It's lived. For an AI, though, it's just data retrieval. Incredibly fast, incredibly accurate, sure, but it knows without feeling. This all comes down to a really cool philosophical idea called qualia. And what that means, basically, is the subjective first-person what-it's likeness of an experience. It's the way you see the color red, the actual feeling of being happy or sad. It's that private, inner world that we all have, and that, as far as we know, an AI just doesn't. And that really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? What is the essence of being? Are we just super complex information processors, something an AI could eventually become? Or is there something more? Something about the experience of being alive that can't just be reduced to data? But I want you to hold on to that thought, because what if technology is about to blow that whole distinction right out of the water? I mean, think about our history. For ages, we've been offloading our memory. First, it was books and art, right? Now it's the cloud and our smartphones. But we're getting close to the next big leap, a future where the line between our biological brain and a machine just melts away. Seriously, just try to picture this. Imagine neural implants that let you download how to fly a helicopter or replay your favorite memory in perfect detail. Imagine AIs that can be fed a whole synthetic lifetime of experiences. Or what about a world where we can share memories with each other as easily as we send a text? It's staggering to even think about. And in a world like that, you can bet entire economies would spring up around it. Memory itself becomes the ultimate product. You could buy the experience of climbing Mount Everest without leaving your couch. You could sell your years of expertise as a programmer in an afternoon. Memory becomes the new money. Okay, so we've talked about the fragile nature of our own memory, the rise of AI, and where technology is heading. We've got all the pieces on the board. So let's circle all the way back to that first giant question. And look, this isn't just some crazy sci-fi idea. It's actually a very serious philosophical argument from a guy named Nick Bostrom. And his simulation argument uses cold, hard logic to get to a conclusion that is, well, it's pretty wild. So Bostrom says one of these three things has to be true. Possibility 1, civilizations like ours always wipe themselves out before they get advanced enough to run these kinds of simulations. 2, advanced civilizations could run them, but for whatever reason, they're just not interested. Or, number three, they are interested and they do run them. And if they do, they'd probably run billions and billions of them. And if that's true, the number of simulated people will be astronomically higher than real ones, which statistically means we are almost certainly in one of those simulations. If you look at it that way, our whole universe might just be a world built on memory. Your entire past? It might just be a massive data file that was loaded up the moment you started. And all those laws of physics we study, maybe they're just really efficient compression algorithms to save on processing power.
And that kind of flips the whole question on its head, doesn't it? Maybe the real question isn't the passive one, are we in a simulation? Maybe it's a much more active one. If our reality is really built from information and memory, then do we have the agency to shape it? Can we learn the rules of the system and maybe, just maybe, even change them? Now that is something to chew on.